Hello, dear students. I'm your English teacher. I'm very happy to meet you again. I hope that your classes have been going well. So keep listening your all classes. And I believe you all have done your last class homework. Today I have to take your first poem of the first unit, which name is The Castle, written by Edwin Muir. Shall we move? And let's see about the poet. Edwin Muir was a poet, novelist, critic, and translator. He is remembered for his vivid poetry and one of the chief Scottish poets of his day, writing in English. He received his education in Kirkwall. After his marriage, he went to London where he wrote literary reviews. Later, he taught English on the continent. He widely recognized for the publications of The Voyage and The Labyrinth. His critical works, Latitudes and Translation were notable for their appreciation of T.H. Lawrence. He also translated works of Shalom Ash, Herman Poch, and Lion Poitwanger. His autobiography was published in 1954. These are about the poet. A small glance of castle. Castle is a type of fortified structure building. It was predominantly by the nobility or royalty with military orders. It usually considered to be the private fortified residence of a lord. Over the approximately 900 years that castles were built, they took on a great many forms with many different features, such as curtain walls, moats, arrow slits, and portcullises were commonplace there. The castles were both offensive and defensive structures. They provided a base from which raids could be launched as well as offered protection from enemies, and castle otherwise called fort and citadel. Next, intro of the poem. This poem describes of a past event of a castle's overtaking through the narrates of a soldier who witnessed the castle's falling. In this poem tells how is the castle and how important of the castle to a kingdom. This poem also describes disloyal and human greed. Let's start our poem. The Castle by Edwin Muir. All through that summer at ease we lay, and daily from the turret wall we watched the moors in the hay. And the enemy of a mile away, they seemed no threat to us at all. For what, we thought, had we to fear, with our arms and provender load on load, our towering battlements tier on tier, and friendly allies drawing near on every leafy summer road. Our gates were strong, our walls were thick, so smooth and high, no man could win a foothold there. No clever trick could take us dead or quick, only a bird could have got in. What could they offer us for bait? Our captain was brave and we were true. There was a little private gate, a little wicket gate. The vision warder led them through. Oh, then our maze of tunnel stone grew thin and treacherous as air. The cause was lost without a crown, the famous citadel overthrown, and all its secret galleries bare. How can this shameful tale be told? I will maintain until my death. We could do nothing, being sold. Our only enemy was gold, and we had no arms to fight it with. Let's see the first stanza. All through that summer at ease we lay, and daily from the turret wall we watched the moors in the hay. In the summer, the guards and people were stress free and relaxing. Soldiers were watching the people who trimming grass and leveling the lawns in the hay. Look at the picture. This is turret wall. Turret wall is defensive wall with a small tower at the corners and sides of the castle. And the next lines are and the enemy of a mile away, they seemed no threat to us at all. The enemies were of a mile away, and they seemed no threat to us because soldiers were watching from the turret wall, so they had no threat to attack them. Second stanza. For what we thought had we to fear, with our arms and provender load on load. Why should they fear? Because they had plenty of sufficient weapons and food, so they don't have fear. Third line. Our towering battlements tier on tier, and friendly allies drawing near on every leafy summer road. And their friendly allies. They also had tall towers with opening to shoot the enemies, and their friendly allies are being near leafy summer road to help them when their enemies attack, so they felt safely in the castle. Look the third stanza. Our gates were strong, our walls were thick, so smooth and high no one could win. The castle gates were strong, the walls were thick, high and smooth, so no one could enter the castle with a strong and secured fortification. Next line of the stanza. No man could win a foothold there, no clever trick could take us dead or quick, only a bird could have got in. If anyone tried to enter through this by clever trick, they could be dead or alive. Only a bird could enter the castle because the castle fully secured. Look the fourth stanza. What could they offer us for bait? Our captain was brave and we were true. Bait means something intended to entice someone to do something, simply called bribe. In these lines, poet described, no one could give bribe to enter the castle. Mostly people attract by them, but not here, because their captain was brave who was ready to fight, and the people were all true and loyal to their king. So bribe not used here. Next lines. There was a little private gate, a little wicket gate. The vision warder led them through. Wicked means evil or morally wrong. Wicket gate means a small gate. And vision warder, an aged and or old god. Look the picture. This is wicket gate, a small gate in the castle. This is vision warder. In these lines described, they were loyal, but there was a little evil gate which the enemies were led through it by an old god for gold. Here, poet described how people affected by luxurious things in these days. Fifth stanza. Oh, then our maze of tunnel stone grew thin and treacherous as air. Now, the confusing path grew weak and disloyal as the air, and gave the way for the enemies to enter the castle. Next lines in the stanza. The cause was lost without a crown, the famous citadel overthrown, and all its secret galleries bare. Crown means lament or cry. In these lines described, they lost their castle without a lament. The famous place of safety was overtaken by the enemies, and their secret galleries were exploited by the enemies. Final stanza of the poem. How can this shameful tale be told? I will maintain until my death. The poet described these lines. The poet ashamed that how can tell this shameful act, and he wants to hold it till his death because they hadn't done it by loyalty and they cheated them. They gave gold to an old guard for entering the castle. In Christianity, Jesus Christ was betrayed for 13 pieces of silver by his own disciple. Similarly, the wicked gatekeeper betrayed his country for a bag full of gold. Next lines. We could do nothing being sold. Our only enemy was gold, and we had no arms to fight it with. In these lines described, the soldiers and people couldn't do anything because they were sold for gold. The real enemy was gold, not human, and they had no weapons to fight it. Finally, the great castle was captured by the enemies. In this poem, clearly specified, betrayal is secret and subtle, that an army is only strong if its men cannot be bribed. Okay, students, thank you for listening. I give you some questions related to this poem, so you should copy them and read it well. Write the homework in your English notebook. Later, test yourself what you have studied. See you next class. Thank you.